Hello friends, today I want to recommend two new and entertaining videos on your channel that you are sure to like. If you are into dramas about the lives actors live, check out this story about a failing actor who receives the help of the spirit of acting and becomes a superstar in his second life. And then check out an interesting story about an ordinary office worker who becomes the strongest martial artist in the world after getting isekai'd. He wants to live an ordinary life now, but it is not possible with the increasing intensity of monster attacks on Earth, and a girl who becomes his adopted daughter through some coincidences. In the last video, we saw Sejun meeting Ayana, the strongest magician in the tower, who had come here to seek help from the Great Black Dragon. Aileen asked Sejun to listen carefully to Ayana because she must be here about the Red Locust invasion. Sejun first offered honey and tomato juice to Ayana, and she judged him because the atmosphere around him seemed oddly calmed and he appeared to be too weak and not a dragon. However, once she drank the juice, she was overwhelmed by its taste. She learned that Sejun was raising crops in this place and believed that he was doing this to tackle the food scarcity issue at the tower. She believed that Sejun was really the Black Dragon, who had been living among the ordinary monsters by hiding his true power and trying to help everyone in his own way. On top of that, when she saw the various species that had been struggling in their homeland working happily for him, she began to respect him. To seal the deal, Sejun showed her the tough blade green onions that he had recently discovered and believed that they were the solution for the red locust problem. To help him prove his hypothesis, Ayana let out the few red locusts she had captured from her magic pocket. A regular green onion and a tough blade green onion were planted side by side, and the red locusts headed straight towards the tough blade green onion after getting a taste of the regular one. All of them got chopped in half by the green onion, and Sejun awakened a new job trait that allowed him to gain EXP points whenever his crops hunted down a monster. On the other hand, Dongshik and his teammates visited their master, Taejun, to give him the sweet pumpkin potato that would nullify his curse of flames for a bit and help him return to the tower. On the 67th floor, the bloody war between the residents of the tower and the red locusts has been raging. The lizardmen are at the forefront of this battle, and they face the hordes of the gluttonous insect monsters with all their might. I am almost tempted to call them relatives of the owner of a certain social networking platform. Jokes apart, a party of 3 highly skilled lizard folks are ahead of everyone else, and they are having a hard time dealing with the enemies that don't seem to stop at anything. One of them complains that there are too many red locusts here, but his companion says that they must push forward regardless. Just behind them lies the waypoint to the next floor, and if the locusts reach it, the next floor will be doomed too. Just then, the strongest magician in the tower, Ayana, makes her entry. She floats in the air as she tells the lizardmen to step aside. With her immense magic power and the special magic staff, she creates a giant fireball. Seeing her in action fills the hearts of the lizards with hope. And then Ayana slings the fireball towards the bug monsters. The fireball hits the ground and causes a great explosion, evaporating all the red locusts in its path. This attack pushes the rest of the red locusts back too, and by doing this, Ayana has created some gaps between them and the tower defense forces. She tells the lizard people that she has bought some time for them. She opens a portal and drops bundles of the tough blade green onion from them as she tells the lizardmen to hurry up and evenly plant these crops in front of the defense line. The lizardmen are shocked because they can only see that the crop is just green onions. However, Ayana again commands them to hurry up, and they quickly do her bidding. The lizardmen quickly plant the green onions with an even spacing between them. Just then, the red locusts cover the distance between them and start heading towards them. The lizardmen immediately run away upon seeing them, but the tough-bladed green onions are already firmly in place. The red locusts mindlessly fly ahead and get chopped clean by the sharp blades of the mutant green onion. Some get divided in half, but some manage to cross the line of the green onions with severe injuries. The lizardmen and other tower residents are shocked to see the red locusts rushing to their own deaths. Well, if only the insects had any brains, they would avoid the tough blade green onion plants. But nope, they are just as dumb as anti-vax flat earthers. The lizardmen ask Ayana what the hell the green onion is, and she replies that it is the Black Dragon's grace. Everyone is surprised to hear the name of the Black Dragon, and then Ayana begins giving them a pep talk. She tells the warriors and mages of the tower that they no longer have to fear the vile invaders. She tells everyone that they should only attack the red locusts that manage to get past the line of green onions. She leads the counterattack, and the rest of the mages and wizards join her. Ayana declares that they are fighting for the Black Tower and for the Great Black Dragon. Well, the person she thinks is the Black Dragon is just busy with his farming on the 99th floor. The bees under his command are pollinating the maize plants. Meanwhile, Sejun is getting swarmed by constant system messages telling him that his crop has defeated a pest, and he has gained 1 EXP point for each kill. Sejun is pleased that there seems to be no problem with the tough blade green onions. He then looks at Kyung and asks if he is doing well. Kyung is putting all his focus on a tough blade green onion plant and putting all his strength into it too. He manages to split the green onion plant into 2, and he proudly displays his feat of strength to his human dad. Sejun tells him that he did a great job. He says that the tough blade green onion is hard, so he was worried about how to divide them and plant them, but it is a relief that Kyung is super strong. Kyung affirms that he is strong and that he can split the tough green onion into 2. Sejun then treats Kyung to some honey, as he thinks that a few days ago, he made a deal with Iona to build a defense line against red locusts with the tough blade green onions. That time, Sejun gave the few tough blade green onions he had to Iona so that she could protect the tower with them. Iona thanked him for his kindness, now fully convinced that he was the great black dragon. However, she had a suggestion for him. She believed that if the tough blade green onion is not monitored properly, there may be cases of its abuse within the tower. She suggested that delivering the money for the crop would be the correct thing to do. She believed that it would also help Theo, who is a wandering merchant under the great black dragon's command. Theo liked the idea, and Sejun also had no reason to refuse her offer. Iona then told him that since they are going to just set up a waypoint defense line, the numbers of the tough blade green onions won't increase. Also, since she is going to personally lead the war against the red locusts, she will have to make sure that no red locusts are left alive. That is why it would be difficult for her to return to the 99th floor, so she would request transportation from the Merchant Association in Theo's name. This portion is confusing to me too, so don't ask me to explain it any better. Just then, Sejun noticed something amiss and turned around to see that Kyung had eaten the red locust corpses along with the normal green onion they had planted. Sejun was shocked and asked Kyung if he ate everything and tried to see through his mouth, which reminds me of the time my dog ate my room keys. Well, Kyung only told him that the red locusts were delicious, and Elka also asked if he could eat them. Sejun was confused then, but then he learned that the monsters of the tower find the red locusts tasty. That presented itself as another business opportunity for Sejun. Back to the present, Sejun sends off Elka to deliver some new tough blade green onions to the 67th floor. Along with that, he has another mission for him, which is the teleportation of the red locusts. Sejun learned that the lizardmen fighting the red locusts on the 67th floor have been using the dead locusts as a staple food. Since there are too many red locusts, the supply is much greater than the demand, and they can't seem to handle it. If the red locust corpses are left alone, the other red locusts consume them, which is not a good thing if they want to reduce their numbers quickly. That is where Sejun comes in and makes a profit. He has hired the entire Silver Wolf tribe to transport the red locusts killed by his tough blade green onions. The adult wolves carry carriages full of dead red locusts through the tower passageway, and the babies just tag along with them. The red locusts are being supplied to the 99th floor to be handled and used as food. Also, Sejun plans to use the surplus amount of red locusts he has as food in other parts of the tower to raise profits. That profit will be used to rebuild the 85th floor of the wolves, which has been suffering from draft. In addition to that, Sejun has also arranged for the Silver Wolf tribe to receive a portion of the revenue and profit they generate as commission. He thinks that using this, he has ensured another route for profit alongside the sale of the tough blade green onion, and the profits are already good. He thinks all this while harvesting some cherry tomatoes, and Theo is fanning him. Sejun scolds him, calling him intern Theo, and asks him if he is not going to fan him properly. He remarks that the wind blowing is not refreshing at all. Well, I said this was going to happen. Theo starts to hear Sejun's harsh words, and he complains that his arm hurts. He asks if he can't become the sales cat again, looking quite disappointed. Sejun reminds him that it hasn't even been 5 minutes since he started fanning. He tells him that the sin of taking the sun's sweet pumpkin potatoes and selling them is a grave one. Sejun scolds the sales cat, the former sales cat, and says that it is a relief that they can still plant the crop by dividing the shoots. If that was not possible, they would have kissed goodbye to a special crop forever. Theo dejectedly promises that he won't make such a mistake again. But Sejun is not going to fall for his cute acts. Theo then immediately changes his tone and says that it is a relief that he sold the special crop to Dongshik. He says that Dongshik is a hunter who keeps secrets, and it looked like he really needed the sun's sweet pumpkin potatoes. Theo is confident that with this trade, the trust between him and Dongshik will increase more and more. He says that this means that he did a good job. Well, Sejun is not impressed, and he orders him 30 more minutes of fanning. Theo is shocked, but he gets to fanning Sejun with all his energy. He cries and asks him to have mercy on him, and then Sejun suddenly says that his shoulder is aching a lot. Theo sees this as a chance and asks Sejun to let him take a look. He offers to give Sejun a massage, and he decides to accept it. Theo begins massaging his shoulders as he asks him not to get sick. Sejun is enjoying this attention and wonders if he should tease the cat merchant some more. Just then, he sees the familiar system windows telling him that he has received some more EXP because his crops have hunted down some pests again. Sejun realizes that there has been another invasion of the red locusts again. Thanks to this EXP, Sejun levels up and gets a job quest, which is to harvest 1,000 crops. The reward for this quest is 2150 tower coins. Sejun celebrates that he reached level 20, and in doing that, he drops Theo from his shoulder. He exclaims that adding the EXP from harvesting crops and removing pests makes leveling up quite easy. He also looks at the quest, which doesn't seem quite difficult, so he should do it right away. He believes that if he levels up some more, he will get some bonus stats and his mana will increase. However, as he is busy monologuing, Theo suddenly screams at him, asking him what he is doing. He angrily reminds him that he was giving him a massage and tells him to quickly return to his seat. Sejun obliges, and then Theo says that he has a problem with his face too, so he is going to massage his face too. Sejun tries to soothe him because it is unpleasant, but Theo doesn't stop. On another part of the 99th floor, the tree monsters called the corrupted ants are trembling on the ground. Just then, the heavy foot of the mama crimson bear crushes it. Apparently, she has hunted down more than one tree monster, and she is not pleased that they have been making their way into her territory more often lately. She thinks that she must strengthen her patrols to prevent the tree monsters from entering her territory, and she looks at the sun to find that it is time for her to return. She drags the remains of a tree monster with her as she heads home and wonders what is for dinner today. She hopes that Qing is eating well, and Sejun will make something delicious for them to eat again. That's all for this video. Well, the solution for the problem of green onions was rather short and simple, and Sejun is getting a lot from it. Now let us see how long it takes for Theo to get back his sales cat title, and what new developments happen in the story. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the next part.